Well, today's a very special day because I have with me the new Toyota Tacoma TRD in a very special color. This color is called Cement, and it's specific for this model year, 2017, and there will only be about 5,000 of these available. So let's go take a look at it. Oh, by the way, I have a special guest with me, Mike Sweers, the Chief Engineer of TRD Development for the Tacoma and Tundra models of Toyota. So let's check it out. Okay, so I'm in the 2017 Toyota Tacoma TRD with Michael Sweers. Hi, Mike.
Good seeing you.
Same here. So tell me about the TRD and what makes it so special and what you put into it.
Well, this is the 2017 TRD Pro. So last year we introduced the new Tacoma, and in that we had a TRD Sport package and a TRD Off-Road package. We didn't offer the Pro. So we took a year on the Pro to change up the whole suspension. And our off-road package itself has great capability. You have multi-terrain select and you have crawl control, which you still get on the Pro model, but we added the high-speed off-road racing kind of element to it. So it's really set up for high-speed driving as well as all the other off-road characteristics of the other truck.
Awesome.
And we did that by increasing the track an inch. We lifted the body up 2 inches and gave 1 inch more wheel travel. We also changed from our off-road package shock, which is a Bilstein 1.5-inch shock, to a 2.5-inch Fox shock.
Whoa.
And we went with Fox. Fox has some great new technology out there. They have their position-sensitive dampening. And what that really means is you have a valve pack in the shock, and in that valve pack, you really have a compression and a dampening on the shock itself. Well, we've went to the zone technology. So the ride's a little bit softer on normal driving and on driving off-road at low speed, but you have 5 zones for compression and 3 zones for rebound up front, and you have 7 zones for compression and 4 zones for the rear, which also has a piggyback reservoir in it.
Wow.
And what that means is as you get into that shock, as you're really driving, your dampening increases as you get up into the compression and rebound zones, deeper into the shock itself.
Lots of travel.
Lots of travel. So we also went to aluminum body on there to help dissipate the heat as you're working that oil in that shock.
Cool.
We have a free-floating piston in there. We won't change the piston from our monotube shock at 38 diameter to a 47 diameter on the piston itself. And we changed the base valving on there. So the base valving's changed to prevent the cavitation of that going up, that fluid going back up into the reservoir, so it doesn't cavitate. 2 things, heat and that cavitation result in shock fade. Springs have been changed. We put a 1/4-inch skid plate on the front. We call that our insurance policy. So if you do get into something that is underneath there, you got that 1/4-inch aluminum plate to help out and protect the drive line underneath it. And with that, we heard from the current customers, where on our other Pro models, that it's a real pain in the butt to change oil, so we did put a trap door in there so it's easy to change oil on the truck as well.
Great.
TRD exhaust has been put on here as well. And the one thing I forgot to mention is we increased the front stabilizer bar. So as we lifted the CG of the vehicle up, of course, understeer and body sway becomes an issue, the body roll itself. So we went from a 28 diameter front sway bar to a 30 diameter front sway bar on it.
Nice. Well, let's drive this thing.
Let's
get
go
my
out.
seatbelt on and hit the trails.
So what I'm going to recommend is we go out on 3.
Okay.
I'm going to have you stay in 2-wheel drive.
Okay.
I'm going to hit the traction control and turn traction control off, and turn our anti-slip rear end on.
Okay, let's do that. And I'm going to go ahead and go into drive, and we will proceed. So, this is a V6?
This is a V6. This is our latest V6. We introduced it last year, 278 horses, and this has our D4S technology, injection technology in it. So this engine has port and direct injection in there. And what that allows us to do is, for fuel economy on highway driving when you're at steady mode, you go into an Atkinson cycle. And our VVT system allows us to do that. The Atkinson cycle, you lose a little bit of torque, but you gain more efficient engine. And when you step into it, the direct inject kicks in, the VVT kicks in, and you go into an auto cycle.
Excellent. So it's very versatile.
Yes, it is. It's really a wonderful engine. And I would challenge you, if you go out on the road, to try to tell when you're in Atkinson and when you're in an auto cycle. It's
challenge accepted.
It's a challenge.
Thanks.
So unfortunately on this course, we're not going to get up to 70, 80 miles an hour, or maybe we will. But, as you increase the speed, you're going to understand the dampening characteristics changing in the vehicle itself.
And it works to self-level as well?
It does help self-level the truck, and really what you'll notice right off the bat is we call it a Paco shock, but you're not going to get that hard as you go into different features on the off-road trail, or you hit different bumps. You're not going to get that massive stomach shock that you usually feel.
Right. Okay. I haven't been on this one yet today. I've been on it yesterday, but man, I forget how.
This is a great trail Sue did a wonderful job helping out, putting some features in here to really emphasize. Yeah, it really emphasizes some of the capabilities of vehicles. And as we get to the ruts up here, you're going to start seeing the wheel travel differences between this truck and maybe some other trucks that are out there.
Now, I've bottomed out on this one before, so...
What you're going to hear in all of them, because this is short and you're in a short wheelbase, you're going to hear the trailer hitch drag a little bit.
Okay.
But on the Pro, we have a 36-degree approach angle. That's best in class.
Wow.
And you probably hear a lot of best in class, but that one, your first bump's going to be right here.
Oh, shit.
And again, for these type of obstacles, the main thing is keeping all four wheels on the ground.
Okay.
So what you're seeing is the vehicle's rolling, but the wheels, we have enough wheel travel that all four wheels are in there. And it's just rocking. And again, you're in two-wheel drive doing this, so this is just the rear wheels driving you through these obstacles.
And this is that truck that can get itself out of sand.
Yep, and there's crawl control. So if you feel unsafe, hit the crawl control, it'll dig itself out of anything.
Wow.
Sand. And it can climb a rock face, it can descend a rock face on its own. You just focus on steering and it'll take care of the throttle.
Nice.
The crawl control is kind of cool because it's controlling each wheel individually, the wheel slippage at each wheel individually. And what that means is the truck can do things no human can drive, doing, because you're driving both wheels at the same time with the limited slip. And with electronics, it's shutting that off and it's individually controlling wheel slippage at each wheel. So that's why it can dig itself out of sand.
Okay, and now the obviously everyone knows about the Land Cruiser and they consider that legendary, right? Now, is there anything in that is carried over into this, or is this completely separate?
Well, Land Cruiser sets the standard for all of our trucks, and I build my trucks. All my trucks are built to a global standard.
Okay.
So Land Cruiser sets a standard, and what you'll see, we're not sharing components with Land Cruiser. We do share some components with Hilux truck. So our transfer case, our rear diff, those are things we share with Hilux truck, which is we sell overseas.
Okay.
And again, because I build to a global standard based on Land Cruiser, a lot of our components are just a little bit heavier duty to take what you would see in terrain that we may never see in North America. So we keep our motor compartment temperatures lower than maybe some of our competitors because of the regions we sell in. And for instance, on our Tundra, we share a BorgWarner transfer case. That transfer case is used in one of my competitors. But we use cut metal gears, they use powder metal gears. We heat treat our shafts, they don't heat treat their shafts.
Okay.
Differences, our truck won stock class in the Baja 1000, their truck dropped a transfer case. So, it's just a difference of building to a standard based on what we do with Land Cruiser. And as you said, it's legendary what Land Cruiser can do.
Yeah. Well, these are legendary too, actually. I remember the Hilux being indestructible. Yeah, we all know that. And then, of course, who doesn't have a Tacoma that lasts forever?
Yeah, it's. I had a guy that I was in the airport down in San Antonio. It's kind of a funny story, but I got on. I took the red eye in. I get in the National Car Rental bus, and I had my Toyota jacket on. And he says to me, "You work for Toyota?" I said, "Yeah." He says, "What do you do?" I said, "Well, I'm chief engineer for the trucks." He goes, "Oh," he goes, "I got a 2006 Tundra with 532,000 miles on it." I go, "Really?" And he says, "Yeah." And he says, "I have a Tacoma too." He says, 2001 Tacoma, and it has 750 or something, 56,000 miles. It was over 700,000 miles. He says, he goes, "That one," he goes, "I just got out of the shop today." I go, "Really? What went wrong with it?" He says, "Oh, I put my second clutch in." I go, "Your second clutch?" He goes, "Yeah, why is that bad?" And I go, "Oh, no. We designed clutches to last that long, right?"
Yeah.
But, our customers wear that mileage like a badge of honor, right?
Oh, yeah.
Really, it's how far can I go? We just had a Tundra that a guy put 1 million miles on it. It's a 2007. He put 1 million miles on it. He runs a hot delivery for the oil companies, and he's a private contractor.
Oh, I saw that one.
Yeah. And it was really funny because he was mad because his odometer, he had his camera, and he was wanting his odometer turned to 1 million. It stopped at 999,999, and it stopped working there.
That was it.
It was it. And he was angry. That was the only thing he was angry about. So we went up, we bought the truck, we're tearing it apart, and he says to me, I asked him, so what have you done to this truck? And he says, at 770,000, reverse went out. He says, I was going to get it fixed. He goes, and he's a big guy. He goes, I can push it backwards anywhere I needed to push it. He goes, but I got up in Pennsylvania, got in a spot. I couldn't push it. I had to push it backwards up a hill. I couldn't do it. So I went and got reverse fixed. We didn't replace the transfer case. It was a clutch issue, and he fixed the reverse. And he says, I've put 2 water pumps in and an alternator, and that's what he's done to the truck.
Damn.
So, that's that. We base our DNA is our off-road heritage and our QDR, quality, durability, and reliability. And of course I'm a little biased, but we truly pride ourselves in making a truck that's indestructible.
Oh yeah. So let's see if this will do it. Do we do 2-wheel drive on this one?
Absolutely.
Okay. Now, I don't know. It didn't look like this yesterday. So is everyone going left or is everyone going right?
If you pick your line, I would stay a little bit to the left, stay a little bit in the mud because that's more fun.
Okay.
And just take that line. You can see if you point the hood right down the center of that high rut there, the high ground there. And
okay.
Just follow that up. And then when you get up towards this portion, come a little bit to the right.
Okay.
So swing a little, pick your line a little bit to the right, and then you have a turn at the top.
Okay, so stay out of that left rut, basically.
No, you can put it in the rut if you want to put it in the rut.
Oh, all right. Well, you know what? We'll get it dirty.
Let's get it dirty.
We're getting
That's
it dirty,
what
man.
trucks are for.
All right.
And again, you're in 2-wheel drive, and all we're going to use is the or limited slip differential.
Okay.
No problem.
Oh my God, that's awesome.
So if you can go through that in 2-wheel drive, you can imagine what you can do in 4-wheel drive. Right?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you have to be the world traveler in 4-wheel drive. I mean, this stuff isn't that easy. So it makes it look easy. That's incredible. So out of all the trucks, I mean, the difference between the Tundra and the Tacoma is just size, or is there something different between those trucks?
Tacoma is its own animal. It's on a different platform.
Okay.
It's a little bit for off-roading because of the size. It makes it a little more nimble, a little more agile on the trails. They both do well. Like I said, we won the Baja 1000 in a Tundra TRD Pro. But really, the difference comes down to some of the features that we have in here. So we have the crawl control, we have multi-terrain select. We really focus this truck on its off-road capability and making sure the QDR is there. So one of the interesting things is I started working on this truck and my team started working on this truck. We went out and my question to our marketing group and to my engineers was, what does a truck customer consider QDR? And how is that different than a car customer? So we know what QDR is, and we know our customers expect QDR, but in particular, what does a truck customer consider QDR? So we sent a survey out to our competitors, to our customers, and asked them, what does QDR mean? And it was really interesting, even for me, after 26 years at Toyota, is a car customer, a Camry customer's expectation is QDR is, when I buy a Camry, for the life that I own the Camry, I go to the dealer, I get my regular service done, no oil changes in that. But I never have to come back for warranty. I never have to come back for service campaigns or recalls.
Right.
That's QDR. But a truck customer is perfectly different. Their image of QDR is I can go anywhere I want and I can return, whether it's a brand new truck or has 200,000 miles on it. So it really comes back to that high mileage, long-term relationship you have with your truck, and whether it's brand new or a few years years old with a couple 100,000 miles on it, I expect it to do the same thing the same way. And I don't have to worry about breaking down. I can go anywhere I want and I can get back.
Yeah, it just keeps going.
So we took that and made sure that this truck held up the Toyota DNA for QDR, but actually tried making it so you can go farther, and that's why we introduced crawl control and multi-terrain select and features like that. And the Pro, what the other one lacked was its ability to continuously go high-speed off-road. And the Pro offers that element, that little extra. So we like to say that the Tacoma is a badass truck, and what I consider this is an extremely badass truck.
There you go. Well, it is pretty badass. I mean, because I just got up that spring-drenched grade in two-wheel drive, and I think I was up that earlier today in a few other vehicles. Or yesterday that was, and it was kind of a challenge. It was fun, but it was kind of a challenge. Now, this is built for high speed?
This is built for high speed. Well, it's built to do anything, basically. Okay. And why we keep saying high speed, or I keep saying high speed, is because, again, the suspension is set up so that you're not going to overheat the suspension. And we have a lot of customers, especially in Southern California, that go out and run the high desert.
Yeah.
And, California, Arizona has a lot of this desert running that you can do. And it's a venture up four-wheel driving, we like to call it, because you're going out, there's things, landmarks you can see, but the only way you're getting there is by ATV or four-wheel drive truck.
Yeah.
And it may take a couple days to get there and get back, so you're going out in the desert and camping, and adding that extra element that I can do that off-road driving at a higher rate of speed is something our customers were asking for. So Pro solves that issue for us, and it really gives them the capability to expand where they want to go and how they want to do their driving. 45% of our Tacoma customers go off-road. So again, we really put a lot of emphasis on the off-road capabilities of our truck.
And speaking of the speed and the crawl control, have you guys done something with the brakes in this model?
The brakes are the same as that we have in our off-road package truck.
Okay.
And honestly, we have absolutely no customer concerns with brakes. The feeling is the braking is just where it needs to be, and so we haven't touched the brake.
Okay.
We didn't change the mass of the vehicle, so the braking, the stopping distance, and that is all the same.
Because they feel pretty good. I mean, they feel like beefy, hardcore brakes, and I don't know if we're going to be able to test the downhill control today on this trail, but I feel in full control here.
Yep. And one of the things that we do offer in this and our other trucks is you have a manual mode on your transmission. We have rev matching on the transmission. I don't know if you know what rev matching is, but basically the engine automatically blips the throttle for you, so you match engine speed to transmission speed as you manually downshift.
Yeah.
So you don't have any of that shift shock of going into that lower gear. So especially if you're coming up on an obstacle, like I like to run these courses kind of fast.
Yeah.
And you come up on an obstacle, I'm manually shifting the truck. So as I downshift, it's rev matching. The most important thing, whether you're racing on track or off-road, is all your inputs need to be smooth and constant. Mm-hmm. And by having a transmission, just like you can do in a manual transmission where it's rev matching, it's flipping the throttle for you, you don't have any jerking from the downshifting that can change the dynamics of the vehicle.
Yeah, that makes total sense.
A little bit safer.
Yeah, you don't want to upset the drive, especially downhill. I mean, if you're not at the right rev range, you can totally bring down a bunch of rocks with you. Yeah. I've seen those old cartoons before.
Yeah, we like to think we're the Roadrunner, not Wile E. Coyote, right?
So we got ride height. Is there like fording depth of this thing? Do you know how deep this can go?
Actually, I do. I can't tell you, but it's designed to ford some water.
Good. So you can use this all over Texas, basically.
You can use this anywhere in Texas.
Okay.
This is the perfect Texas truck.
I agree.
And it's built in Texas.
It is. That's right. Is it San Antonio?
San Antonio. Yep. My second home. So I spent a lot of time down at the plant. We have a fabulous plant with a fabulous
Well, that would show up in your surveys.
Yeah.
Well, that was fun. Thank you very much, Mike.
It's my pleasure.
Yeah.
My pleasure. Anytime I can go out and get a truck dirty, I'm happy.
Yeah, me too.
And great driving.
Thanks.